Hello, traveler. Hope you are doing well. In today's topic, I'll be going over distractions, what their purpose is, and how you can use them to actually help you. Let's get started. The vocabulary word for the day is interposition, which is the act of placing something in between. This word is a noun. Without further ado, let's get into it. I want to start off by saying distractions are everywhere, especially when you are trying to improve yourself. This is why sometimes you'll see things that entice you to indulge in it. The best thing to do with a distraction is to understand that it's a distraction and then refrain from it. If you don't know it's a distraction, this means you are actively being distracted. Distractions let us know that there is a disturbance close by. Now, it depends on if you hear it, then leave it alone, or hear it and engage. One thing I learned is that obstacles do not block the path. They are the path. This solely means you can turn these obstacles into opportunities for personal growth. We must switch the way we think about these obstacles. Just like if you walk into the store and you see something you can't afford, you're going to tell yourself, I can't afford that. Hell, you might not even look at it anymore once you see that price. This is what you always tell yourself, and your brain registers that as failure. Replace those words with, how can I afford this? This registers in your brain that instead of you immediately shutting yourself down, your brain becomes more open, and you can come up with different ways on how to obtain whatever it is you're looking for. Yes, this takes time to do, but you have to start somewhere. I really just want you to get to the point where you are able to think bigger and realize you're more than what you're limiting yourself to. Now let's try to alter how you think about distractions. First, understand they are there to only throw you off your game. There isn't really such a thing as healthy distractions. Although you could read or write about something in the meantime, that does help you get better. Being productive in the midst of a distraction only really builds your tolerance towards it. Taking a break from work is okay. It's actually more healthy to take breaks in between your work sessions and days just so you don't overload your mind with your work. In cases like these, distractions aren't as bad. Just make sure you can return energized after your break. You can even set a timer if you have to so that your break is more controlled and structured. If the distraction is specifically to you, then this is where you really have to put your emotions to the side and focus more on your mental capabilities, so you don't have to deal with that any longer. Prime example, you know how when you're single and don't have a significant other, nobody really wants to deal with you as much anymore, but when you aren't single and you do have a partner. Now, everyone wants to come out of God knows where. It's like I was trying to build my roster and nobody wanted to be a part of the team, but now all of a sudden, they want to come from every direction. It's a pretty interesting phenomenon, to say the least. But you see how when you aren't bothering anybody and you do your own thing, people want to show face. Now you're getting more attention, and you don't need that. Now that people know you have a partner, they oddly find you more attractive. It's like when you go into the store and you see a group of the opposite gender looking your way, finding you appealing to them. To a small degree, you find them attractive as well. Are you going to get distracted and look back at them, knowing you have a partner? Are you going to engage? Keep in mind your relationship means a lot to you, especially if the feelings are mutual. Now this is where you need to use your mental strength and energy. Previously, like I said, you should not go off of emotions when it comes to distractions because you will indulge. We are creatures of emotions by default, so most likely we will go based on how we feel. You feel like you want to go over and talk to them. You feel as though they'll reciprocate the same energy toward you. If you go about it mentally, you will see all the real repercussions of your actions. Also, while you're in your head, switch the roles around. If your partner was greeted with the same scenario, would you want them to engage? I didn't think so. After you've listened to yourself and used your brain correctly, you don't engage and you just ignore and move on. You're going to get this accomplished feeling about yourself. Your brain registers that as good behavior, and it understands that you just walked away from what could have potentially been a bad decision. This builds tolerance, respect, resilience, and responsibility, so that when and if it happens again, it'll be easier for you to go about it for now and later situations. You get to return home to your partner, and everything's good for the most part. You'll also build a stronger relationship and bond with them as well, because you know that you stayed true to them. Just a general tip, you could use this concept in actual day-to-day life. Doesn't have to be with relationships. This could be with any time you come across another distraction. That's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for your attendance today. Your presence never goes unwanted or unnoticed. And as always, until next time.